Hello everyone and welcome into Coach Craig's Sports. This is the NBA DFS Core Pick video for Tuesday, November 26th. If you're joining me for the very first time, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, this is how today's video will be structured. We'll be going over my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. In the morning, I will be posting an injury report, so be on the lookout for that, as well as injury updates throughout the day, as well as the starting lineups for these 5 games as well. But without further ado, get right into it with the DraftKings side. We're going to start off at the point guard position with Chris Paul of the San Antonio Spurs, $6,300, looking for 31-32 at him to get that 5 times value. Essentially what he's been averaging so far in the season, as he is averaging just under 32 fantasy points per game. Definitely do like him in this matchup. Pace up spot versus the Utah Jazz should be a very effective matchup at the same time as well. So currently I'm projected for about 34-35 fantasy points. Could have a little bit upside for more, could have a little bit downside for less at the same time as well. Then we move down to shooting guard. We're going to go with Gary Trent Jr., $4,100. Was off to a really slow start for him when he was in that starting lineup. He's mainly been coming off the bench as of late, but played 28-29 minutes last couple games. Been playing pretty well in that. At $4,100, we're only looking for 20-21 out of him. Currently, I'm projected for about 22-23 tonight. Pretty much what he's been doing as of late. So looks like a really solid, steady play there as kind of a value option. And with that being said, we'll see if any other true value options open up as the day moves along. But at least early on, he looks like a pretty good one. Then we move down to small forward with Jimmy Butler, $7,800, looking for 39 at him, averaging about 37 so far on the season. He's been playing really well since his return, so don't have too much else to say here. Goes against Milwaukee Bucks. Should be a little bit pace up spot. Bucks are hit or miss in terms of defense on any given night, so definitely do like Jimmy Butler in this matchup. Currently, I'm projected for about 44-45. Definitely does have some pretty strong upside for more, as we've seen in his couple most recent games. Then we move down to power forward with Harrison Barnes of the San Antonio Spurs. It's the same pace-up matchup as Chris Paul. He's been playing pretty well as of late. Been playing expanded minutes. He's only $4,500, so we're looking for 22-23 at him. If you look at what he's done so far in the season, about 21.5 fantasy points per game, but as of late, he's been on a tear. So if that trend continues at all, going to be one of the better values on the entire slate at $4,500. Currently, I'm projected for about 28 fantasy points on the DraftKings side tonight, but definitely has a ton of upside for more if he keeps playing at the level he's been at as of late. Then last but not least, we're going down to Rudy Gobert at the center position, $6,600. Looking for at least 33 out of him, averaging just over 31 so far in the season. Goes against Houston Rockets. Decent matchup going against Alfred Sengun. If he's out there, if he's getting the rebounds, if he's getting a block or two here and there, he should really pay off at the $6,600 price tag. And I currently have him projected for about 34-35. Might have a little bit of upside for more, a little bit downside for less at the same time as well. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do currently have listed, you got $20,700 remaining, $6,900 remaining per player. So a good amount of money left over with some of the values that we do have here. Once again, there might be some other values that do open up throughout the day, which may potentially allow us to pay up for 2 stud players. Otherwise, if you want to do a little bit more of a balance build, that's definitely fine on the 5-game main slate as well. Should make for a pretty interesting slate overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, we're going to start off at the point guard position once again. I got Keontae George over here. If you want to play Chris Paul, you could definitely do that as well. He's $6,500 on the FanDuel side. Ultimately end up on Keontae George at $5,800. We're looking for 29 of them. Should be a little bit of pace-up spot versus the Spurs tonight as well. He's been playing pretty solid minutes as of late. He's been doing decently well in terms of fantasy points most games, but you'll have the down game here and there as well. But at $5,800, like I said, we're looking for 29 out of him. Currently, I'm projected for about 28. Maybe we get a little bit of upside in the Spurs matchup tonight. Then we move down to shooting guard once again with Gary Trent Jr., $4,200. Looking for 21 out of him. Same kind of story as DraftKings. He's been playing pretty well as of late. He's been playing 28-29 minutes a night, which is actually pretty well. He had that really slow start to the season, kind of turned around as of late. With that being said, currently I'm projected for 22 fantasy points on the FanDuel side tonight. Might have a little bit of upside for more, might have a little bit downside for less. He's just kind of one of those cheaper value options, at least early on in the day. We'll see if anything else opens up as the day moves along. And then at small forward, we're going to go with Jimmy Butler, same as over on DraftKings. $8,200, looking for at least 41 out of him. Currently I'm projected for 45 tonight. He's been doing really well since his return. The Bucks could be a hit or miss matchup just depending on how they run out on defense on any given night. But usually more times than not, it has been good for the Bucks opponents so far this season. Definitely do like Jimmy Butler once again. And if he shows any of the type of upside he's had in his 2 most recent games, it's going to be a very, very good play overall. Then we move down to power forward with Harrison Barnes, like I mentioned, over on DraftKings as well. Been on a really good 3-game stretch, playing big minutes, playing really well. Pace up spot versus the Utah Jazz, $5,400. Looking for 27 out. I'm currently am projected for 28 tonight, but definitely does have some pretty strong upside for more at the same time as well. And then last but not least, we're going down to Walker Kessler. Made his return, played 35 minutes, so not really too worried about him just in general. Looking for 30 out of him at $6,000. He's averaging just under 32 so far in the season. Should be a pretty interesting matchup versus San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama. Currently, I'm projected for about 33 fantasy points tonight. Could have some upside for more, maybe a little bit downside for less if he gets some foul trouble or is limited in terms of his minutes in any way, which I'm not really truly expecting, considering he played 35 minutes in his return. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do currently have listed here, you have $30,400 remaining, $7,600 remaining per player. So a good amount of money left over. You can pay up for some stud players if that's something you want to do. Pay down at some other spots if you want to go with a little bit more balanced approach. That's definitely fine on tonight's 5-game main slate. Should be a pretty good one once again. But with that being said, that's what I have in terms of my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to drop them down in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. Then once again, I will be posting the injury report in the morning, injury updates throughout the day, as well as the starting lineups as they do come out throughout the night. I'll have an updated core probably about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock, or as those changes do become available. So definitely on the lookout for that, especially as we do get closer to lock. But with that being said, if you are brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now we have NBA DFS Core Pick videos Tuesday through Friday. This week will be a little bit different. We won't have one on Thursday because of Thanksgiving. There's no games, and then probably won't have a video on Friday either as well, since I will be out of town for Thanksgiving just in general. And then also be sure to check out my NFL DFS player pool video, typically coming out once a week on Saturdays. I know it's been a couple weeks now that hasn't been able to go, and probably this week will be the same case, just going to be out of town for some Thanksgiving stuff, so do once again apologize for that. Going to try to at least get the cheat sheets out there, as well as the player pool over on Patreon. We'll try to make that for you once again this week. And then last but not least, if you're interested in prop betting, if you're interested in sports betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for Parlay Play, Prize Picks, and BetUS. If you're a brand new user on any one of those 3 sites, when you sign up, make your initial deposit, you will get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's a 100% match up to $100. And then for BetUS, it's a 125% match up to $2,000. So some pretty great opportunities to be had out there. If you have any other additional questions related to that whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comment section of this video or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and be more than happy to help you with that journey as well. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Definitely means a lot to me. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in NBA DFS for Tuesday, November 26th.